welcome to Tuesday Night Training, and tonight I'm going to be talking with you about creating high vibe lives. These are lives that are going to attract people, they're going to help sell to people, and it's all about how you show up on your live, what energy you bring to it, how you're feeling when you show up. And I'm going to share with you 3 things that I do consistently to keep my vibe high, so I show up on Facebook Lives with the energy that people want, and in every other area of my business as well. So as you are hopping on, say aloha. I want to know what's going on for you. And the reason this really matters is that our energy either attracts people to us or it repels people from us, right? So the vibe that you show up with to your live supersedes everything that you talk about. You could have the best content in the world, but if you are boring people, if you are unsure of yourself, it pushes people away. And those are normal things to do. I made really boring lives for a really long time and still do, I'm sure, on occasion. But I do these 3 things consistently, and it helps keep my vibe and my energy in a good place so that it's attracting new people and bringing people closer to me and in my world so they want to work with me. So, who's watched one of those lives? Who's watched a live where you're like, gosh, like, I kind of want to hear this, but it's painful. I just can't keep watching, right? And if you're watching a replay, then you just click off real fast, right? Because you know you're not hurting anyone's feelings because they don't even know you were there, right? But then you watch some lives where you're just hanging on that person's every word and you're like, oh my gosh, give me more, give me more, give me more, right? And you stay on until the end. So that's the kind of live I want to help you create tonight by raising your vibe. So again, say aloha as you're jumping online. For those of you who are new to the group, welcome. New to me, welcome. My name is Terry Best, and I help women grow their business on Facebook by learning to lead with authenticity and confidence. And Facebook Live is a tool that helped me grow my business tremendously in the last 2 years that I've been using it consistently. And it's the reason I created this group, so that I can help you leverage this tool, use it in such a powerful way, because live is how people get to know you quickly. And the quicker someone gets to know you, the more likely they are to buy something from you at some point. So to me, live just speeds up the whole process of connecting with people online. So that's one of the reasons I love it. Hey, Vanita, it's good to see you. Hey, Jenny. Yes, you've bailed on some lives, Vanita. Me too. Okay. So let me see. Okay, so speaking about boring, so let's just talk about like boring lives. So when a live feels boring to me when I'm watching it, it's like the person could be saying content, could be sharing words, right? Or content that like I'm actually interested in finding a solution to some problem that they're talking about. But if they're not sure of themselves, if they're sort of like, you can just read their body language and they're feeling kind of more nervous about how they're showing up than the excitement of the energy that they're putting into their live, that's when a live feels really boring to me. So confidence sells, right? When you're watching somebody who they're just comfortable in their own skin, they're just showing up with the kind of like take it or leave it attitude, then we can focus more on the content, right? But when somebody is nervous on live, it's almost like that becomes the focus instead of the content. So here are the 3 things that I do to kind of shift from that place of feeling nervous and worried about judgment or what this person is going to think or how I might come off, to focusing on the content that I really, really know can help someone. So that is the number 1 thing to do, is to start to make a list of all of the different ways that you help people. So this is something I do pretty regularly when I'm kind of like trying to go to my next level, or I'm trying to think of like a piece of content to create for a Facebook Live or for a post. And if I'm feeling kind of in that place of like, I don't really have anything to say, and maybe I'm feeling a little low energy that day and not feeling very good about myself that day, it's even harder to do it on those days. But those are the days we need to sit down and say, okay, what are the ways that I can help people? What are the things that I know that can help people? So for me in my business, I will be thinking about, what could I teach someone today about Facebook Live that I take for granted that might help someone else? Or what can I teach someone about the Facebook algorithm that I assume everyone knows, but that there's probably people out there who don't know it? How can I show up with that? And by making that list, it's kind of like your badass list. it helps you get clarity on what your purpose is of going live, right? Because if you don't have a real purpose to go live, if you're really just like, I need to go live, I check the box on Monday nights, I go live, right? It comes across with that kind of energy. But if you get excited about your purpose in showing up, which is really about helping someone else, then you can focus more on delivering that piece of content, or kind of stepping into like, oh my gosh, I have so much I can share. What was I thinking that I don't have anything to offer someone today, right? So it's kind of like a little badass list. Like, what are some things that I have going on that I can help other people with? So that is the first one. So yours might be like helping people believe in their dreams again, right? Vanita's on here. She is a group Dreamtastics, and it's really about believing that the dream is possible. If you're in beauty, it might be about helping people feel beautiful again, feel and look, their best again. It might be helping people feel stronger, or feel like they have less pain in their life because they've strengthened their body. So whatever it is for you, write it down, and it kind of just gives you that like you can own it before you go live, and focus more on that. That clarity around your unique talents, your gifts, what you bring to the table is a game changer. And this is why this is something that I do regularly, is not something that I just do kind of here and there, or like right before I go live. This is something that I journal about all of the time, because the more clear you are on what you bring to the table in this world, the more confident you can feel in the way you show up, however that is, and the way you sell your services, because you know there's so much value behind it. And that trust that people will have or not have in you comes from you, right? So if I don't trust that I can genuinely help you in business, you're going to watch a live. You probably won't even watch the whole thing. You might watch a part of it and then just go, because we're always assessing, will this work for us, right? So if you don't have the confidence behind it, they're not going to have the confidence behind it. So lend them your trust. And the best thing you could do when you're feeling unsure is shore yourself up, right? So I'm feeling unsure. I'm going to shore myself up with this list, with these positive thoughts about what I bring into the world. And the more you shore yourself up, the more sure of yourself you will feel, right? So a little play on shore there, but it really does make sense. Just keep shoring yourself up, and you feel sure more of the time. Okay. So number 2 thing to do to, feel more badass, to raise your vibe when you go on live, is get really clear about what's holding you back, right? So for me, it would often be, I don't want them to think I'm just in it for the money. I don't want to appear too salesy. I don't want someone to think, who does she think she is teaching about Facebook when XYZ can teach about Facebook, right? You might have similar things. We all kind of get that little voice in our head that tries to mess with our game plan, right? We make a good plan on paper, and then we go to do it, and it's that little voice that sometimes we let be louder than the voice of, I'm here to help people. I have a gift to share with the world. So if you can get clear on what that voice is saying, you can kind of realize like how illogical it is, right? So for me, thinking, okay, I don't want people to think that all I care about is money, and so I feel like I'm going to appear really salesy if I do that live, right? If I can get clear on that's the thing that's holding me back, I can say to myself, that's the most ridiculous thing you could say, Terry, because you have never been all about the money. You have walked away from jobs that paid good money because it wasn't all about the money. Anybody who knows you would never say that you're all about the money, right? But it's only by bringing that thought into my awareness that I can deal with it. So it's like most of us just put our head in the sand. We have the fearful thought, and then we just go find some distraction, right? We just don't show up and do the do. Have the fearful thought, look at the fearful thought, and then flip it over on its head, because most of the time it is not based in reality. So get clear if what that thing is that's holding you back, and if it's not a fearful thought, it could be like an alignment issue, right? So this is what I call business alignment. So for me, here's an example. I was being sheepish about sharing content related to my skincare when I was growing a skincare business, because I felt out of alignment with someone who sold skincare, and I couldn't figure out why I would always hit a cap in my business. But the truth is, I didn't want to talk about skincare. It didn't feel like it was aligned with who I am here to be, what I am here to help people with. So at some point I realized, this is an alignment issue. And you can change an alignment issue by changing businesses, which is what I did. But sometimes it's really just changing your perspective, right? for instance, I could have shifted my perspective from focusing on the skincare to focusing on the business building aspect of my skincare business, right? And that might have helped me stay in the game with it. So if it's not like a fear that's holding you back, look at, like, is something out of alignment? Am I like not feeling good about these products because of the price? Okay, is that like really I don't think the value's there, or is that just like my own money stuff? Or am I feeling out of alignment with these products because I know there's some ingredients in them that I don't really feel that great about? Maybe like I need to not promote these products. I need to promote something that I feel better about, right? So ask yourself, is it fear? Is it alignment? Whatever it is, face it and flip it over so that you can start growing a big business. Okay, number 3, this is how to raise your vibe before you go live, is do something specifically with the intention of raising your vibe. So excitement and nervousness generate the same feelings in our body, right? So higher heartbeat, you might like break a little bit of a sweat. Your breathing definitely gets more shallow when you're excited or nervous, right? So what does this tell us? Same physiological reaction to excitement or nervous. What it tells us is it's our interpretation. Are you going to interpret the feelings that you have before you go live, or even when you just think about going live, it might trigger some of these physical symptoms, I shouldn't say symptoms, but characteristics, things that are happening in our body. Then you actually make the choice that, oh my gosh, this is exciting. I can't wait to show up on live and help people grow their business. I can't wait to show up on live and help people feel more beautiful or get stronger or get smarter or whatever it is that you do, right? You flip it from feeling nervous to feeling excited. Other things that I will do to kind of get out of that feeling of like, oh my God, I feel so nervous about doing this particular thing, is take a few deep breaths. Honestly, sometimes before I go live, not all the time anymore, but back in the day, every single time, I would have to actually sit there for a couple of seconds, take a few deep in and out belly breaths, just to get my breathing consistent again. And it's really a signal to your body that like everything's fine. There's nothing to be nervous about, because shallow breathing, you're not getting enough oxygen. Your body's tense, right? So it's just an automatic way to get yourself to relax. Crank up some music. That's something that I still do consistently a few times a day. I play Pandora in the background all day. One of my favorite songs will come on. I will get out of my chair and boogie, get out of my chair and dance, get my body moving, get my energy up, spending all day by myself working, right? So it's just a way to like raise my vibe. And I definitely do that before I go live. Right before this live, I was dancing with my husband, who came home early for work, so that was pretty fun. You can jump up and down. You can do the Superwoman pose, right? So standing up, hips out, hand on your hips, chin a little bit up, looking up. This actually is proven to bring endorphins into your body, to create endorphins. So doing that pose before you have to go public speak or go live or do anything that you're a little nervous about, can definitely help. And then also the other thing I do is sometimes I listen to something empowering. So on YouTube, I have a secret playlist that is my go-to for inspiration when I need to be lifted up in all different areas of my life. And I have videos on there saved that always make me feel amazing. So if I need an extra boost, I go to YouTube, I listen to a playlist, maybe 1 or 2 videos, and it raises my vibe so that I'm in a good place to show up and help other people. Because if I'm not in a good place to show up and help other people, I can show up, but I'm probably not going to be very helpful. So to recap, refocus on your clarity of purpose by making a list of the ways you help people, right? Embrace your inner badass. Identify the fear or the misalignment that's holding you back and wanting you to play small, and flip that over on its head, but look at it straight in the face. And number 3, do something really specific to raise your vibe, play some music, do a little dance, sing a little song, do your Wonder Woman pose. If you need help channeling your inner badass, I love doing this in my private coaching, and I have one spot currently available. If you want to learn about that, you can go to terrybass.com/transform, and I call it transformation coaching because it's really coaching from the inside out. It is learning to channel this inner badass, to be confident and to be authentic in the way you show up, paired with strategy that is simple, that is easy to follow. So you can learn more about that at terrybest.com/transform. And that is it for this Tuesday night training. Let me know what one big takeaway is for you. Are you going to start doing something different before you go live or on the daily in order to channel that inner badass? And let me say hello to a few of you who said aloha. Aloha, Kathy. You pulled over on the side of the road so you could be live with, oh my gosh, I am totally flattered. That's really sweet. Thanks, Jenny. I'm glad these tips are helpful. Kathy says, what are you two dancing to? You can picture. Yes, we love to dance in this household. We were dancing to Lovely Day by Bill Withers. He is like one of my faves. And that song, I don't know what it is. It just like gets under my skin and makes me want to dance. But every Friday night, we've got a little dance party at our house, and we listen to one of our friends, Tim McCullum, who's on a local radio station and does a show every Friday night. So that is our date. We order some food, we do some dancing. It's really, really fun. I'm a big dance fan. All right, guys, that is it. I will see you next Tuesday for Tuesday night training. Aloha.